Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius, and today we're here with a brand new session for you. It is a session that I did in the angel membership, like a group coaching session, group reading. And so I know that you're going to bring through messages for yourself in here. Spirit says to tell you that if you resonate with any of the messages that come through today, to really take those for yourselves and know that is for you from your angels. Friends, if you love today's episode, you would absolutely love the angel membership. It's not too late to join. You can join over at theangelmedium.com. Thank you so much for being here, friends. I love you so much. Your angels love you so much. Here is the episode. All right, we've got, I think, everybody in. If you're just joining now, I want you to know that you're going to need a pen and paper tonight because Spirit's been with me all day and they're like, there's messages for everybody. So tonight is for you. Think of it like a big group session. So I want you to grab that pen and paper. And if we're in meditation and you hear me say that again, it's because more people are jumping in. All right. I'm going to have everybody just close their eyes, start to relax. And tonight, I want you to breathe yourself in. This is really important. I want you to breathe yourself into oneness. So I just want you to imagine yourself inhaling love, exhaling love, and just continue to breathe in and lengthen your inhale. Breathing in love, deepen your exhale, breathing out love. Continue to breathe deeply in and out, inhaling and exhaling love. And as you do, notice your body coming into a state of oneness, not through the oneness meditation, but just simply by inhaling and exhaling love. Continue to just breathe in, breathe out love for a few more minutes here. And as you do, notice this tingly energy in your auric field, but also notice this tingly energy within your heart, this unconditional love within your heart as you breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply. This love within your heart, like an orb of God's unconditional love, starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until your entire being is within this unconditional love. And I want you to see your entire spirit team right in front of you as if you're looking at them, and there's an entire huge U shape of all of your loved ones and angels on the other side. They greet you, they welcome you, and they're so, so excited for you tonight. I want you to see a grandmother energy, and if you don't have a grandmother energy, it's your great grandmother. I want you to see that grandmother energy on the other side, and she steps forward out of this U shape. And your grandma has messages for you right here, right now. The first thing that she brought through was one of the things that she wants you to work on is allowing yourself to come into a oneness energy and unconditional love vibration simply through your breath. And your grandma said she is working with you to bring you into a higher vibration more frequently within your day. And maybe you can kind of recall that. But she says she's working on it with you, not in the same method that I use through the oneness meditation, but more so just by you having a self-awareness. Okay, I need to take a moment to myself, and using your breath to relax the entire body, to bring your mind into oneness, unconditional love. And your grandma had me write down a couple of things. She put, you cannot not get intuitive information because your intuition is your soul's voice. You cannot separate your intuition out of you. You cannot not have an intuition. You can't get to a point where you lose your intuition or break your intuition. Your intuition is yours. It is your right to always be in tune with that information, no matter how busy your life gets, no matter how stressed you get. There is always a way for you to dial into that highest vibration that is. So if you're somebody who struggles with questions of self-doubt, of whether or not you can get intuitive information, of whether or not your intuition would ever leave you, your grandma wants you to know the answers to those two questions are: your intuition can never ever leave you. It is part of your soul, and it'll always be with you. There are some, she just said, your grandma just said, there are some of you who worry that, you know, we are all busy. Women are going, and it's set up this way within society to be going constantly. Especially this time of year, getting the kids back to school. Your grandma said some of you worry that you're going to be so busy that what really calls to your heart, you're going to miss it. And what she talks about is that she will not let that happen. So I want you to bring that message in and really accept it within your heart chakra, that if any of you are worrying about missing the message or missing being on the right track, she said, you're doing the work and you need to be really, really proud of the work that you're doing. And she said, I'm not going to let you miss anything. So I want you to just take a moment to breathe that in and allow any worries or fears about missing a message or not getting a message. Just feel that energy as it almost kind of acts like steam. It rises off of your body. And the angels, you can see them just take that energy, transmute it into love. Your grandma talks about the next couple of months, and as you come into the next couple of months, you're really coming back into a remembrance of who you are. And what she means by that is she kind of pulled earlier in the day a memory from my head and handed it to all of you. And your grandma said that as we go through life, and I have found this within my own life, when we are looking around us, am I doing this right? Are other people living in a better way than I am? Am I different? Am I doing things wrong? Could I be doing things better or differently? That what we truly find most of the time as we peel back the layers in this journey of life is that exactly who we were as these beautiful, radiant children's souls is exactly who we needed to be. And your grandma wants you to know that it's, for some of you, it's the next 2 months. For some of you, it's the next 6 months. As you start to pull back more and more of these layers, you're going to come into this remembrance of who you are. And what your grandma is saying is when you get these little flickers of I'm remembering back to how I was as a kid. I'm remembering back to a memory in middle school or high school. Make space to send love back in time to that child who was doing everything the way that she needed to do it, who was perfect just right then and there, but didn't have the time here on earth, the experience here on earth. And so she questioned. And your grandma says she wants you to relax into, you are perfect now. You are perfect no matter what challenges you have, no matter what struggles you're going through. It doesn't mean that we don't try and work through those challenges, try and work through those struggles, try to do our best. Doesn't mean that. But at the same time that you are doing life, you are also perfect right here, right now, exactly as you are. And as your grandma says this to you, I want you to see her coming over because she's got her arms around you and she's just giving you the hugest hug. Your grandma has one more message, and I asked her about 3 times because I'm like, are you sure? And the energy that's coming through from the other side is like, yes, 100%. There is this energy, your grandma says, that your purpose in understanding yourself spiritually, your purpose on the spiritual journey, your general purpose in life, all ties into a child in your life. That could be one of your children. It could be a grandchild. It could be a niece, a nephew, a neighbor. I want you to think back because your grandma just said there's been a time in your life where someone that you knew very well, someone that you didn't know very well, both instances where those folks said something to you that changed everything for you, gave you love, showed you love, gave you words of wisdom to live by, and it stuck with you. Your grandma opened up your life plan and everybody else's life plan here and said, there are moments when someone can speak words of wisdom to us and it's resonating within the life plan because what was said was meant to be said, even if it's just a brief little encounter. But those words are meant to echo on in that child's life for the rest of their life. And so your grandma says that as you come across this child, maybe you work with this child once, maybe you work with this child throughout your entire life, but as you do, know that your purpose deeply ties in with theirs and that your words are written in that child's life plan. Whatever it is that you need to say to that child, loving, positive words of wisdom, don't be fearful. Say it in the way that Spirit brings it to you. So with this, your grandma wants to give you a few moments just right here, right now. And if you joined us late, I do want you to get a pen and paper because we're bringing through messages for the entire group tonight. And I want you to connect with grandma because says she has messages just for you personally. And I want you to bring through those messages. And after you feel like you get to a point where there's nothing more coming through, you're like, Grandma, is there anything else? And it's just radio silence because you've gotten what you needed. If you feel called to, I want you to put that in the chat. So I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 minutes right now just to connect with Grandma and bring through the messages that she has for you. Okay, I'm just going to give you 30 seconds here to connect with Grandma, give her a big hug, finalize those messages. Can read them over in the chat. They're so beautiful. Grandma says, you are so strong. I have sent the people you need to help and support you so you don't get overwhelmed. Grandma said to keep doing all the things I'm good at, take care of my mom, family. They are supporting me from the other side and sending love. It's time to relax, believe in you and the natural unfolding of life. Grandma says, I love what you're doing. Keep moving forward. Perfect. Friends, what if there was nothing stopping you from becoming abundant to the max in all things? Finances, time, nothing was holding you back from becoming your healthiest, happiest, most financially abundant self yet. Friends, thanks to our annual and monthly angel members, we've been able to grant over $100,000 in partial scholarships so that souls who want access to life-changing teachings in the angel membership have that opportunity. And we have more partial scholarships to give. Don't let your egoic mind tell you that you're not worthy, because the angels and I are here telling you, you are worthy. This is your year. But I can't help you get where you're going if I'm not working with you in one of my programs. Become an angel member now. Go to theangelmedium.com, then the angel membership tab to sign up. If you need a scholarship, let us help you. Scroll to the bottom of the Angel membership page and click the link for partial scholarship options. Links are in the show notes. And thank you. Thank you for coming together as a community. Thank you for contributing what you can each month. And thank you for helping us reach hundreds of deserving souls with life-changing teachings in the Angel membership this year. This is going to be your best year yet. Your spirit team came through as a whole for this next message and had me write down that there's a lot of fears out there right now. There's a lot of fear, and I don't want to make light or diminish the state of the world, because obviously there is a ton going on in every which way, every direction. But they specifically came in and said that there's a lot of fear among everybody right now of a recession, that because of all of the talk about global warming and different instances happening throughout the world with different weather-related issues, that we're almost kind of taking this internally as a fear of traveling. Those of us who love to travel, and what your spirit team said to say tonight is that the fear itself isn't doing anything in and of itself, right? Like the fear that we hold itself is not creating momentum or moving anything in one direction or the other. And what your spirit team came in and said is, if you could just take the fear vibration out of it and kind of look at things with a different mindset, is what they're trying to bring in for you. And they want you really to get yourself to that point, vibrationally taking yourself out of fear through mantras, through affirmations. So if you're scared of the recession, I want you telling yourself, it is, 3 months from now, and you can write different dates. Today is January 1st, 2023, and I'm so excited because we have done the best this year of any year, or we are right on track where we wanted to be financially or doing even better, whatever it is that you come up with affirmation wise, I want you to put a date on it, and I want you speaking words of faith into yourself. I want you lifting yourself up within your words, within your thoughts, so that as you maybe hear a news story on the radio. You weren't trying to listen to the news, but you're just scrolling through the FM and AM and something pops up. You hear something about global warming and it triggers something within your mind, that you have 2 statements or 3 statements. One about money, one about travel, if you're a travel person, one about global warming, in order to really lift yourself up. And I'd love it if somebody could start a thread in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, so that we could all see what you come up with. And you could even Google money affirmations, travel affirmations, global warming affirmations, so that we can all kind of use these and hone in on these. But Spirit was really clear, and I'm not spending a lot of time on this because they really want to do a deep dive into a different section. But I'm going to give you this homework to kind of create these 2 or 3 affirmations for yourself so that you can really use it as a way to override that egoic mind. The other thing that they said, I can't move on to the next topic until I say this, and they've been showing me this all day. Yes, there is a lot going on, a ton within the world, but they said it's always been that way. It's on a much larger scale, and we have never had so much information at our fingertips. Remember back in the 90s, you'd turn on with dinner, like right before dinner, while you're cooking dinner, you'd turn on, the big network news on TV. You'd hear your news for the day, and that was it. Now what's happening is you go on your phone in the morning, you see it. You go in your email bin, and maybe you're a subscriber of some news channel, and they're sending you headlines into your email box. And if you're a part of nonprofits, they're texting you different things throughout the day. And you go on social media and you're seeing it. And a lot of people I know of, have it in my family too. They're sending out political text threads of different things that are going on. It's all day long. It's overwhelming. And Spirit said, whatever's happened in the past that people had so much fear of in the 1600s, in the 1800s, in 1910, in 1950, in 1960s, we're still here. And the other thing that a history teacher told me once, and Spirit gives me this a lot as a sign, is through every downturn with the economy, people have looked at it as, how can I make money during that time? How can I stay on top of things? I want you to study that. I want you to look at that. And maybe it's not something that you use right here, right now, but your ancestors just spoke this through to you, and they said, it's not the last dip we're going to have in the economy, right? So if you look at other people and what they do during a recession, where they turn around and make more, I want you to think about how you could do that too. Because I have not been a good investor in the stock market. I wanted to be, I never have. I am just learning now. But if you go back and look at the stocks with Google, with Facebook, with Amazon, when they were first starting out, if you had just put $1,000 in, and I know that's a lot of money, but we can all save little bits. If you had just put in $1,000, it would have grown exponentially right now. And I actually didn't learn this through money. I learned it through the podcast, that podcast listeners grow exponentially too. So you have a little bit, but then once you start to gain more, it compounds and it compounds and it compounds and it compounds and it grows really big. The same happens with your finances too. So I am not an expert in this, but your ancestors are handing you this card and saying, look at, research what other people did during downturns in order to stay on top of things. There are always going to be ways for you to do that. What's the little thing that you can do? It's going to completely shift your vibration. It's going to completely shift your energy. And I did this in the 2008 recession. I really studied this for myself. And I haven't felt any fear of a downturn in an economy since, because of what I learned. And so I want you to feel the same way. And so does your spirit team on the other side. There was another really big message that was coming through, and this is for everybody here. So the Seraphim came in and they said, see September 1st as a second new year. Okay. So there's a lot of psychology behind this. I've heard this before, but they were so loud and clear today. They said to everybody here, we want you to see September 1st and January 1st as 2 new years throughout your year. The angels kept talking to me today about the psychology within the mind, within the body's vibration, that when you have a new start, anybody here grow up Catholic or are Catholic now? And, when you're Catholic, when you're Christian, you say, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. So now you're going to heaven and all of your sins are kind of washed away and there's a new beginning. But with Catholicism, you have that new beginning all the time. You can go to see the priest at any moment. You can go in with the priest, you talk with the priest. There's like a screen between you. You talk about and get off your chest whatever it is that's kind of weighing on you. And then the priest says, all is forgiven. Here's your penance. But you really have this fresh start. And the angels came in and said that all of those things, and also what they're saying right now is baptism too. It's the same concept with baptism. It washes away. It's like an immediate energy clearing, right? A new beginning gives you a clear washing away of everything that's been weighing on you to have a fresh new energy. Now, they have a lot to go along with this, okay? Because that's not the only piece to this. You and I both know, because we lived so many decades on this planet, that what all of us do when it comes to the new year is we're like, yay, fresh energy, fresh vibration. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do everything perfectly, and I'm not going to f it up this time, and I'm going to really be on track, and I'm going to do the right thing, and it's all going to be good. We have high hopes. And the seraphim came in and said, we have to throw out, in order for us to be successful in a new fresh start energy, we have to throw out the 2-box model. So all of us go into January 1st and we're like, am I going to do it? Yes or no, right? Like, am I going to get it right this time? Yes or no? And it's all or nothing. Anybody ever start a new diet? Which we probably shouldn't start diets. It should be like lifelong plans. But you go into it and you're like, I don't know, maybe I get like 3 hours in and then I totally mess it up. And I'm like, well, today went to hell, so I guess I'll start tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow comes and then you're like, it up again. I'll start it tomorrow. I swear to God, I did that for about 20 years, right? Like every single day. That's the 2-box model. All or nothing. And your entire spirit team came in today and said, chuck that out the window because it's not working for anybody. Nobody has success with the 2-box model, right? They said you have to switch your entire mindset. Instead of the 2-box model, does anybody do that to themselves or is it just me? 2-box model? Okay, awesome. Instead of the 2-box model, I want you to see a spectrum, okay? And the spectrum applies to any goal you have, anything that you want to achieve in your life, anything you want to do. So, I'm going to be really honest with you. I said, well, what's an example I could give? And they said, Julie, you've kind of fallen off with your automatic writing, haven't you? I said, yes, I have. They said, is it doable, achievable, reasonable for you to do automatic writing 7 days a week? And I said, no, it is not. And they said, what is reasonable, doable, and maintainable? I'm going to repeat those again. Reasonable, doable, maintainable. Reasonable, doable, maintainable. So I thought about this a little bit and I said 3 days a week. I can get up 3 days a week and I can do automatic writing for 20 minutes. Okay. So instead of a yes, no mentality, they said put it on a spectrum. When you make choices, are you going to go from the middle over to where you want to be more, or are you going to slide on the spectrum to where you don't want to be, less than 3 days a week? And if you, some weeks get 2 days in of automatic writing, consider it a win. If some days some weeks you're really on top of it, you get 4, awesome, no worries. But if you look at everything on a spectrum, then it helps us to get where we're going as human beings and not allow our own egoic minds to defeat us. So they said there's 2 rules to keeping this fresh energy going and not letting ourselves really kind of beat ourselves up for not doing it and lose that fresh energy. Fresh energy, they just said, is a momentum, right? And momentum is like fuel in the car. It gets you where you want to go. So everybody here has this fresh start energy for September 1st. And the 2 things your angels want you to do to really keep that energy is really get rid of the 2-box model, use the spectrum. And then they also said 2 steps forward, 1 step back is still moving forward. So where I was talking about the food before, if I was looking at it on a spectrum, because what I did to myself for over 20 years was if it wasn't a good day, it was a bad day and I totally beat myself up for it. But if I'm thinking on the spectrum, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, then I'm allowed to take back steps. I'm planning for back steps. I'm not bad or wrong or terrible when I take back steps. I know the back steps are going to happen because everything in life, business, whatever it is that you're going to do is always going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But the angel said we're looking at it wrong. Like that's bad. It's not. It's the cycle of life. And so instead, if we see it as the cycle of life and say to ourselves, 2 steps forward, 1 step back is still me moving forward, then we get right back on track. So if the week comes where I do 2 days of automatic writing instead of 3, I don't get down really hard on myself. I say 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm still moving forward. I'm still ahead from where I was. I'm still doing good. And so your spirit team wants to kind of give you a couple of minutes to just think about this. And they said, what is one goal? Just one And some of you are overachievers and you're going to want to write down 3. I don't want you to write down 3. Your spirit team wants you to write down 1. What is one goal that is reasonable, doable, maintainable? Spend some time on that. And if you get done with that goal, I want you to think about how can you really use a spectrum? How can you kind of get rid of the 2-box model and use a spectrum? And how can you see 2 steps forward, 1 step back as really a good thing? Okay, friends, you can keep going if you have more to write. Well, everybody, I love you. I'm so excited for us. So just a reminder here, your angels say September 1st, fresh new start. I want you to feel like you're just baptized. The priest has kind of given you his blessing, or the priestess right here has given you her blessing that you are starting anew. And I really want you to feel that way, just that fresh start energy. Really kind of bring into yourself what's reasonable, what's doable, what's maintainable, what's in alignment. What's in alignment with yourself, not pushing yourself to do things that are out of alignment for you. And then really taking into consideration over the next couple of months, stepping out of that 2-box model and more onto a spectrum of I'm working 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but I'm still working towards my goal. I'm still making progress, and being okay with that human, it's very much a human cycle of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and that's okay. Thank you, everybody. Love you so much. I hope you have a beautiful evening. Mwah. Beautiful soul, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Julie. You know I'm all about connecting you with messages from your angels and loved ones on the other side. If you've been listening today and you're super excited and just have to know which angels are around you right now, who's connecting with you, and what messages they have for you, go to theangelmedium.com. Register for a session. You can do a reading with me or a member of my team, and we can help you in making sure that your angels are doing the very best they can to support you and guide you to your best life. If this sounds like you, virtual sessions, they're only offered on my website. Sign up today. And if you're the person who's really excited, you can sign up for my Angel Reiki School to become a certified angel messenger. That's for the healers among us who feel called to grow their intuition to the max and serve humanity with their gifts. You'll learn Reiki, mediumship, how to deliver angel messages, and how to get clients. That's the Angel Reiki School at theangelmedium.com, or DM me on Instagram at Angel Podcast with any questions. Before you go, connect with your angels by placing your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath. Imagine a doorway filled with God's unconditional love is right in front of you. Step into that love and feel it as it fills your body, chakras, and auric field. Now ask your angels, what would you have me know today? And open yourself to the positive, loving messages they have just for you.